Hi, from Lori Christofferson. It looks like it's my turn to share. I had something that I had been thinking about, and then after Melissa taught last Sunday, it seemed to fit in and be pretty timely. I have been reading through the Gospel of Matthew, and because of our situation, I was particularly looking at timing and how to discern God's direction, because we are thinking about selling and buying our house. What I stumbled across was a very simple line that opened up to considering how Jesus and the Holy Spirit walk beside us. But to backtrack a minute, Melissa mentioned that we understand the basics but might take them for granted and not realize that perhaps our neighbors don't really see with the vision that we have or understand. She mentioned that we can impact our neighbors by being light and not just blocking the door by holding onto the keys. She also mentioned that something new is happening and we want to catch the vision and move with the Spirit. So if you see me glancing over, I've got my computer next to me. So I went back to my notes, and in Matthew 11 verse 1 it says, "When Jesus had finished giving instructions to his 12 disciples, he departed from there to teach and preach in their cities." This might be an ignored statement, but it holds many truths. First, Jesus cares enough to instruct his disciples. I believe this includes us. He did not just say go, he took the time to instruct them. If you look back at chapter 10, you see there's a whole list of instructions. And in 10:25, it states, "It is enough for the disciple that he become like his teacher, and the slave like his master." I won't list all the instructions he gave, but some were very specific and others were more general. So talking about instruction, the second point is, I work in a school and I know that instructions have many parts to them. Instructing is taking the time to care whether the learner is actually learning. It means that the teacher might give background information, they might teach vocabulary and how to speak about things, they might do some modeling, they might check on progress, they give corrective feedback, and finally they might encourage the learner to keep trying. All these things are part of the instructing and learning process. Jesus would know exactly what instruction is and how to best meet his plan. And Christians are unique from all those with some kind of faith in that we have the teacher, the Holy Spirit, in us. The Holy Spirit is right there in us to fulfill the process. We know the process takes time. I can tell you, as some kids are not doing well with distance learning right now, because we need engagement and feedback for our success. He is there for us when we are engaged and listening. It gives us much comfort in knowing that God just doesn't write something down once and expect us to do it perfectly. We are in the process of learning, and he is in the process of instructing. And we definitely need to engage in that process for it to be successful. So the third point is that learning almost always includes making a mistake and then fixing it. The teacher helps to identify the mistake and how to fix it. The learner may not notice it on their own. The Holy Spirit or another believer may gently say, "Try a different way, think a different way, stay away from this, or go over there." As we respond to the prompts, we are learning and growing and showing more of his light. We can share our vision as we see with a little better clarity ourselves. It's interesting, I didn't have this in my notes, but it came to mind that one of the best ways for a student to learn is they try to teach one of the other students. It means they fully understand if they are sharing their information with another student. So the last point, in the verse, after Jesus gave instructions to his 12 disciples, he departed from there to teach and preach in their cities. I found that so exciting that Jesus trusted the disciples to follow through so that he could move on and continue to make an impact himself, directly on individuals. I also found it exciting that he was teaching and preaching in their cities. That means that he cared about their neighbors their families, and their friends. He was right there working directly on hearts, perhaps unseen to the disciples. And he is there working around us too, perhaps unseen. He is still making an impact for the kingdom directly. What kind of impact do we think Jesus would have in our neighborhood or in our cities? Well, he said right there in the scriptures what impact he would have. And in Matthew 11:4, he said to them, the disciples, "Go and report to John what you hear and see. The blind receive sight and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up and the poor have the gospel preached to them. And blessed is he who does not take offense at me." Jesus moves in ways we may not see, but he is the same yesterday and today, and his power has not changed. To sum it up, Jesus in his word teaches us the Holy Spirit is within us, instructing us, and he is working alongside us. And to finish up, we know that sometimes it's frustrating. Jesus even continues to talk about the unrepentant cities in that same chapter, but he also provides encouragement with his final words. I will close with this, and notice the word learn is in this verse. Matthew 11:28. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Thank you. Bye.